Welcome to Coming Home, Survive and Thrive in Homeschooling. As I begin this week's podcast, can I ask you to help me get my message out to the homeschool community? Please subscribe if you haven't already and tell your homeschooling friends about my channel. Thank you. Last weekend, our youngest child was married. She is 24, so not a child at all, but she was living at home until married. Although I am focusing on my response, I should point out my husband experienced similar thoughts, but today it is about mothering rather than parenting. In the weeks leading up to the wedding, I started to notice a shift in my thinking and reactions. There were some things I knew would end and was quite happy about, such as being woken up when she came home late. However, other everyday happenings started to affect me in a manner that surprised me. For example, I was hanging some washing for her as she was busy with wedding preparation, and it was a way I could help her. As I pegged the items to the clothesline, I realized it was likely the last time I would hang out her washing in the family home. To my surprise, I started to cry. Yes, I am crying a little as I write this piece. When I said I was surprised at tears whilst hanging washing, it was like a jolt, as I knew there was something deeper going on. But what? It wasn't because she was going. Otherwise, I would have felt the same, as each of her 4 older siblings had left home. It was about mothering. For 37 years, there has been washing to hang. And now it was about to end. It wasn't the washing. It was the end of an era. Oddly, it felt like grief, and I knew that was it. To every beginning, there is an end. The joy and deep purpose of bringing children into our family was an easy message to receive. Although, as we had more children, the approval subtly moved to disapproval, and not so subtly in some cases, but that's a different story. I don't recall hearing about the sense of loss and grief as the last child leaves the nest. Maybe there was a mention, but I truly don't recall. More often than not, the vocal relief is expressed through to the attitude of getting one's life back. Raising independent and responsible young adults who know how to think and not what to think was a clear plan for my husband and me. Releasing them to be a blessing to the world was satisfying and a job well done. Not for us the encouragement to stay home on the cheap, getting their meals and washing done for them as they moved into their late 20s and early 30s. That kind of mothering could be dysfunctional and traps the parents and adult child. An adult child needs to take responsibility for their finances, buying groceries and cooking, paying the power bill, and generally keeping their own house in order. There are times when a mutual agreement for temporary shared living, where agreeing to shared costs and housework needs to happen rather than a reverting to parent-child scenario. Multiple generations living together can be done to the benefit of all, but careful planning is in order. And once again, this is not the purpose of this podcast. I did, however, talk about it in podcast number 58. Now I've had a couple of weeks to ponder my thoughts and reactions. I have a better understanding and can be gentle and nurturing to myself as I process this time. Know that whatever time you are in will pass. In times of overwhelm and exhaustion, remind yourself of this. Take seriously the factoring in of rest and rejuvenation to guard yourself from resentment and escapism. You really don't want to look back on missed opportunities, the beautiful times, and the general everyday ho-hum of being a parent with young and growing children. Time does go by very quickly, even though you're knee-deep in nappies, broken sleep, and a child arguing with you. And when that time passes, the next period of life has already started. If you love, you will grieve. Those two cannot be separated. Find someone who understands this and will support you as you navigate the grief, even though it is a joyous grief. It will pass. Be careful in what you share with those who look forward to their children going back to school or leaving home. They won't understand, and your tears and reaction to your child leaving will probably create a response of scorn as their own attitude is defended. If you haven't already, I encourage you to give careful thought to creating your philosophy of mothering. Many go through these years reacting to rather than planning and finding purpose. Regularly revisit your philosophy and fine-tune it. Read books, listen to podcasts, get wise advice, and give yourself mini life audits. Accept your mistakes and regrets and formulate how to improve. Rejoice and be proud of all the many things that underscore your success in the career of being a mother. A mysterious, deeply satisfying career of many years, well beyond young children. Embracing this career has been the most satisfying thing I could have done in my life. I knew it would be good, but I didn't know how good until I lived it. So what for me now? I was a mother for so long. I still am. It just looks different. Our adult children still seek our company and a chat with many confidences shared. I love these times. We have one grandchild and look forward to more. This is a deeply purposeful new role to have become, grandparents, a duty and a privilege. We are downsizing to what is required for just the two of us. All those extra blankets, utensils, furniture, etc. are offered to our family or donated to bless others. Our family of 2 doesn't need what a family of 7 did. We can now plan for some travel without disrupting family or being away too long. We are planning for retirement and our responsibility to be able to provide for ourselves and assist and support our growing family when needed. I am looking forward to this time in life. I miss having children around, but what a joy as I watch them form their family units. It's as it should be. When I visit, I will look for the little things I can do to help, and you never know, I might get to hang their washing out again.